Do you know what a security freeze is? Do you know what identity theft is? Do you know what spoofing is? Have you been the victim of fraud? Hello, this is Professor VJ. I wanted to come and talk today about fraud, about preventing fraud, um, providing tips, resources, information. If you have been the victim of fraud, you know all too well it's a very long process. It can be very expensive, and it can take years to recover from being the victim of identity theft. I'm coming to you because I've gotten so many alerts on my feed, on my phone, about different scam, different fraud situations across the country. So I wanted to come to those that need this information. If you don't, that's fine. The information I'm providing to you are free resources. You don't have to pay anyone to do this, just a little time and a little effort. An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Remember that. That's an old term for those of you that are of a certain age. Take the time now to follow these steps to prevent being a victim of fraud. And I hope that anyone that's listening to this has not been a victim. If you have, there's some additional things that you can do to prevent further fraud. First thing, what is spoofing? This is very important because many of the stories that have been on social media, that have been in the news, that popped up on my feed are dealing with spoofing. Spoofing is a term that's used when someone has duplicated a phone number, an image, or an authentic source. This is what happens in the spoofing, in the sense of fraud. You get a phone call. You look at your call ID. It has your bank name on it, but it's not your bank. It's someone, we call them fraudsters, scammers. You have no way of knowing how they got your phone number. You have no way of knowing how they got your information. Nowadays with technology, there's a dark web, there is data mining, companies pay for information, individuals pay for information, companies sell your information. So what happens is when this person calls your phone, it has your bank name, you automatically answer it, you think there's something going on. There is something going on, but it's fraud. The first thing I suggest that you do, look on the back of your debit card, look on the back of your credit card, and hang up the phone and call the number. That is the right number that's on the back of your debit card or your credit card. That's spoofing. That's the first line of defense. Or go into your bank. If you have a rotary phone, not a rotary, oh my God, not rotary, but a landline. That I'm aging myself. If you have a landline, go into your bank, call your bank. Never talk to someone that calls you that says they're from your bank. Very rarely, because there's so much technology. The bank can send you a text message, they can email you, they can send you something in the mail. That's always better. Because guess what? A scammer or a fraudster does not want their identity known because they don't want to get in trouble. Think about that. But your bank will never call you. Unless, again, this is all situational, if you have had dealings with a business banker, relationship banker, a branch manager, you're working on, getting a mortgage, getting a car, some kind of credit product where they need to follow up with you. Look at the business card. Make sure and call the number on the business card. Again, don't respond to someone that's calling you, because they are calling you to get information from you to commit fraud, to scam, to commit identity theft. They're calling you to get your information. Again, I talked about this in previous videos. Be very intentional with your life. Protect your identity. That's very, very important. If you've been the victim of fraud, you know how long it takes to rebuild your credit, to undo all the damage that has been done. If someone gets your identity, the world is their oyster. They can open up bank accounts, they can open up credit cards, they can buy cars, buy land. So much damage can be done if you are the victim of identity theft. Prevent it on the front end so you don't pay on the back end. Okay, that's spoofing. Very, very important. Never talk to someone that calls you, even if it has your bank name. It's spoofing. It's technology. They're duplicating the image of your bank and the phone number. And it may even look like the same number, but it may be off by one digit. That's the trick. If you look at the phone number, oh yeah, I remember that's the customer service, but it's off by one digit, but it has the bank name. Call the number on the back of your debit credit card. Second piece of advice, again, this is all free. Don't pay anyone to do any of this. You can do it or have a trusted family member do it for you. But don't pay a company to do it. Put alerts on all of your accounts. You can do it through your bank's mobile app or the online banking. Free service. You can set up alerts for everything, deposits, anything coming in, anything going out. There's usually a threshold, $5, $10, $100. Make it the lowest threshold. Unless you have a lot of activity, you may want to increase it. Maybe make it $10. Put alerts on every account that you have so that you can get a text message or an email. If you don't have what are these smartphones, you can get an email. But put up alerts so that you can be immediately notified if someone is trying to get access to your account and wipe you out. Next thing. So I've talked about the spoofing. I've talked about the alerts. You can also go into your bank's mobile app or online, and you can lock your debit and your credit card. Very, very important. Each time, the card that you use most frequently, you may not want to lock it, but if you set up those alerts, if someone is trying to use it, you will be immediately alerted, and then you can lock it. But if you have credit cards that you have had for many, many years, you don't want to close them because it will really damage your credit score. Keep the card locked at all times. Any card that you're not using, because most people have multiple banking relationships or brokerage or financial institutions, keep those cards locked at all times. Again, ounce of prevention saves you a pound of cure. Next thing, so we talked about spoofing, alerts, notification. What is a credit freeze? What is a security credit freeze? Many of you may know this. A lot of people don't. Free service. Don't pay a company. You contact the 3 credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. You can Google this. You can either do it online or you can call them on the phone. A free service. The security credit freeze is an indefinite service that they offer. It locks down your credit file so that no one can access your information to open up new accounts. People have opened up credit cards, cars, bought homes. There's also something called a fraud alert. That's different. The fraud alert, you can do both, but the fraud alert is for people that have already been the victim of identity theft. There is a message on the credit file that says, I have been the victim of identity theft. If someone tries to open up an account or credit, call me first, and you put your number. That is only good for 1 year. You have to renew it every year. You have to put a reminder on your phone every year because it drops off and it's up to you to reestablish it. Versus the security freeze, it's on indefinitely. It never goes off unless you call or go online. You'll get a security code. You'll do a login, set up a username, password, like most online portals. Very, very important. It only takes about 15 minutes to lift it, and then you can lift it for 24, 48 hours, and then you have it, you designate when you want the freeze to go back on. It's called a temporary lift. So these are some things that I'm telling you because I keep getting these things about fraud and scams, and I'm thinking people are still falling for that. Your bank's calling you on the phone, and they're going to make it sound urgent. Oh, this is from the fraud department. This is from compliance. This is from, your bank that we see all these transactions. Look at your account. If someone's calling you, if you pick up the phone, you're busy, you probably picked it up without thinking about it, and they're telling you all this stuff. Look at your account. Most people will just go by what someone's telling them, and then they get panicky, and they're like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Don't do anything. You hang up the phone and you look at your bank. You go to your mobile app. You go to your online banking. You check your own, transactions, because guess what? They are trained. They may have worked at the bank. I don't know. They may have looked it up. They may have been a customer. They know the protocol. They know the script. They know exactly what to say to you to make you feel that your account is in jeopardy. Once you have given them your information, it's too late. It's a wrap. Once you have given them, they'll sometimes ask you to, I'm going to send you a code, you send it back to me. Once you tell them your social security, your date of birth, your account numbers, it's a wrap. Zelles, Cash Apps, those are considered cash. And I see so many cases in social media where people are upset the bank didn't reimburse the money because you gave out the information. If the bank reimbursed everyone that's a victim of fraud, we wouldn't have no banks, because Fraud is like a $50 billion situation across all banking institutions. Somewhere that may be a little high, but you get the drift. Fraud is big business for scammers and fraudsters. The bank will not, I'm telling you this, the bank will not reimburse you if you gave the information willingly, unless you go to social media, unless you go to the press, unless you go to your local news, because you gave the information. You gave these people the information. You sent the Zelle, you sent the Cash App. That's like going down your street and giving someone money. It's good as gone. You have no recourse. You have no recourse if you give out your information. Don't fall for the spoofing. The bank's not going to call you. Keep your cards locked at all times. Set up alerts and notifications. All of this is free. Put a security freeze on your credit file. Again, Professor BJ, this was just burning on my heart today because I keep getting these messages and I can't, and some people just don't know. And again, if you don't know, you don't know. That's what my job is, here to tell you these things. So take care until the next time. Have a great day.